Do you think Houston will be a factor this year? Kurt, I hope so. Look, he's healthy, and that's all that matters right now is he wasn't healthy last year. Now, again, he doesn't seem to have great training camps. He doesn't, but it's weird because he's a type of guy that he'll get 15 snaps a game and he'll come up with a sack or two. But he's not great right now in the run stuffing category. So right now he's a 15 play type of game each game, and that's not enough. So I'm going to say yes and no. Yes, when he's on the field, he will be, but he's only going to be on there probably 15 snaps a game. So that's not a lot. I trust Brad Holmes. I can only think of one player that Brad Holmes missed on, and Levi, who'd actually show up this season. Oh, yeah. Look, he missed on Levi and Uzurike. With that said, everybody misses. And I don't think anybody probably... Now, look, he had spine issues. They knew about the spine issues before they drafted him. Did they think he probably needed a fusion? Probably not. And not everyone's going to work out. So his hit-miss rate is fantastic. So I agree with you. I trust Brad Holmes fully, 110%. He's way better than me when it comes to this stuff. Hands down, it's not even close. It's not even close. He knows what he's doing. That's why I don't get all upset if I don't get the player that I want or the sign a player in free agency that I want. Brad Holmes knows what he's doing, right? He knows his roster, so I just give it to him. Hashtag FG, what game is going to be our most difficult to win this season? Great question, Devin Davis. And I think can I do two teams? Can I do two? And I'll give you different reasons why. One, I'm going to say the Houston Texans. I think they're a magnificent team. I think they're a Super Bowl contender. I think they're a dark horse Super Bowl contender for the AFC. I legitimately think they can get to a Super Bowl. So that's going to be tough because we got to travel there. And we got to travel to San Francisco the second to last game of the year. That's going to be really tough because our bye week is in week 5. So there is a good chance we're going to be beat up, and to travel to San Francisco against another Super Bowl contender is going to be quite difficult. I'll throw in another team in there for a different reason. Dallas Cowboys, because the refs are paid. And I don't even care. They're paid. It's something, it happens every time in Dallas. And you got to Green Bay them to win. You have to demolish them to win. And that it's to demolish them to win so the referees don't screw it up for you. So, and that's just a fact. I don't care. I don't care what people think that I'm a conspiracy theorist. I have watched a lot of football, and it's crazy how every single time we go to Dallas, there's always something controversial. Front office coaching staff is on point. Great time for Lions fans. Can see a 5-0 start. David Barton, I could see a 5-0 start as well. I could. And that's crazy. I tell you what, we beat Dallas and we're 5-0. I will be doing jumping jacks. Of all the teams we got to face, that's the one I want to win the most because I'm tired of their fans and I'm tired of the referees and I'm tired of Jera and how they get special treatment. It gets old. It gets old. You've seen enough. We have all seen enough. And there's teams or players that get away with this stuff all the time. Tom Brady, right? Aaron Rodgers, the Dallas Cowboys. There's special treatment, and you get tired of that special treatment. And I, for one, am tired of it. Pays off the refs. They control outcome in Dallas. They do. The only way to beat them, Troy, is to do what Green Bay did. That's really it. If it's coming down to referees, it's going to go to Jerry's side. Okay? It's going to go to Jerry's side. You have to demolish them like Green Bay. And shout out to the Packers. Really happy they did that. I was so happy to see them get demolished. It was glorious. Now you look at like you're imagine being an NFC East team. You're a fan of the Washington Commanders, and you're seeing this team, the Dallas, always getting away with it. Kind of reminds you of Green Bay when they had Aaron Rodgers, right? Beat them Cowgirls, absolutely. How worried should we be playing the Bears on Thanksgiving? I'm tired of that game being an automatic loss. We need something about this. James, I'm with you. We got to win. I think we've lost 6 straight years. We got to win this year, period. Tired of it. I think you're tired of it. Everyone's tired of it. Am I worried? No, I'm not worried. I think the Lions are a better football team than the Bears. Honestly, man, Justin Fields, I know he was not a good quarterback for a lot of people when it comes to receptions and stuff, but he was a Lions killer. He was a Lions killer. I don't know what it is, but it was his mobility or whatever. But man, we always struggled against Justin Fields. And so I'm glad he's out of the division. I know Caleb Williams is number one pick. I know there's a lot of hype going to Caleb Williams, but personally, I don't know. I think we'll be fine. Smash the hole. What do you think from the tank stays a couple more seasons? Frank the Tank. Oh, Devin Davis. If Frank the Tank could stay not just this year, but next year, that would be huge for the Lions draft, because then you're slowly changing the offensive line without a dramatic change, right? You lose Jonah Jackson, you get a Zeitler. Now you got a guy whom you drafted, Mahogany, in the 6th round, who should have been, in my opinion, probably a 2nd, 3rd round draft pick, who can replace the Zeitler role next year. So we already got a replacement for Zeitler. So you have Taylor Decker, you have the replacement for Zeitler already, and then you'd have Frank Ragnow, and then you got Penei Sewell. So then all you really have to do is, okay, the Graham Glasgow spot. What if Graham does again? He plays another year. Well, then you can draft another guard or a center to wait another year for them to replace a Frank Ragnow, or for them to replace a Graham Glasgow. That's how you do it, slowly but surely. You get that continuity, and it's magnificent. And if he can stay one more year, if Frank Ragnow can hold out this year and then another year, that would spell great news for the Lions. It really would be. And that would be magnificent. I expect him to retire after this year, but if he doesn't, I would be so happy. So happy. He is such a good piece, this Lions team. But look, he's got to do what he's got to do. He knows his body. He's beat up. He's tore up. So look, if he retires after this year, I'm not going to be upset at him at all. I wasn't upset with Calvin Johnson when he retired. Injuries and pain is a big deal, but I really hope he stays. Really do. Wondering if Jordan Love can have a great season, hoping defenses adjust to him. Let's beat them twice. Jordan Love, he's going to have a good season. I think he's a good quarterback. I don't think he's no Brett Favre or Aaron Rodgers, but he's a good quarterback. They got a good team over there in Green Bay. They do got a good team. They're young and they're developing. I think the defense will adjust to him for sure. I think all defenses adjust in the NFL, and we'll see what he can do. It's going to be like his kind of sophomore season, right? This year, because last year, he had a good year, so we'll see what they can do. But I expect them to be a good team. The Bears beating us on Thanksgiving, stop it, not happening. Hey, look, man, I remember I was at the Thanksgiving game a couple years ago with the Bears there, and they beat us with Andy Dalton. So yeah, I hope it definitely doesn't happen. We got to really win that game on Thanksgiving. We definitely got to do. Look, if you got questions, put it in the comment section. I will go ahead and answer them for you. And that's what we're doing right here and getting it done. We are getting it done. So go ahead and put a question in the comment section. Again, we got a lot of battles taking place here. Look at the secondary, probably the most to see the new revamped secondary. I am super excited to see it and very, very happy. Let's see. The NFC Championship was almost Detroit versus Green Bay last year. Definitely are not past the Packers' money. Oh, yeah, we can't look past the Packers. No, I think that's a terrible idea to look. All honesty, you got to keep it 100 with you. I don't look past any team, even if they're a bad team. Look, good teams can have bad games, and bad teams can have good games. This is the NFL. This is not college, where there's a significant difference between college teams. Never look past anybody. And that's how you stay humble and, you do it the right way. You start getting arrogant as a team, and that's when you fail, right? couple years ago, we got arrogant past the Carolina Panthers and the bad field, and they smoked us. We can't do it. What's your record prediction? I'm going to go 11 or 12 wins. I'm going to stay with 11 and 12. I know it's not 1, it's 2, but I think 11 to 12 is about where I think the Lions will be. I think they're the better roster, but they also got a harder schedule. What's up, Dr. Detroit in the building? I kind of agree with you. 11 right there. Obviously, Love will end his career in Green Bay with an interception against the Lions. Just saying, I hope so. That would be epic. Kirby Joseph's last reception was, or no, Aaron Rodgers' last pass was to Kirby Joseph. So I like that. And Baker Mayfield's last pass was to Derek Barnes. So I like it when we throw interceptions. This year, we're going to sweep the Chicago Bears. I would love that, Ramdy. That would be awesome. I don't think that's going to happen. I think they are a better team. Their defense is really good. They were good last year. Montez Sweat beeping it up, and they got a good defense there. Their offense, I do think, is better. We'll split, but I hope we do. I'd love to sweep them. Hashtag FGB. How do we always have trouble with mobile quarterbacks? Why hasn't Aaron Glenn planned for them? Devin Davis, that is a question that hopefully maybe gets answered this year. Look, if we have a problem again with mobile quarterbacks, I think Aaron Glenn's done. The NFL is now predominantly more mobile quarterbacks. You're not going to win the league if you don't defend that. You're going to lose. It's just the way it is. We got to be able to prepare for a quarterback run around. We got Brian Branch. You can put on a quarterback. All right. I think we all agree that he's fast enough. He's strong enough. If you were to make him a spy, he'll probably get it done. So, but I don't know. 14-3, but of course, if injuries, not too bad. Yeah, injuries is account for anything, David. So, yeah. So, my record is injuries aside, right? So, that's the same thing. Same with you, but 14-3 would be huge. I heard my coach say that he didn't care if you had 3 toes and 1 butt cheek. He will beat your A. Yes. Yes. I love it. I love that mentality. He's correct. Hashtag Lines, what position group do you think is currently the weakest on our team? I'll go with the edge position. I think it's the weakest right now. Really, I like Aiden Hutchinson, what he brings there. I like Joshua Pascal. I like Davenport. I don't know if I really like him. I'm iffy on him. I don't know. I say I'm less than iffy. I don't think we're weak, but it's the weakest group, I think, of it. Like, if you look at all the depth of this team, it's great. Quarterback depth, perfect, right? You got tight end depth, perfect, right? Offensive line depth, even the backup offensive tackle, backup guards are great. Unlike last year, we had great starters, but our backups were a little bit off. Giovanni Manu, he'll be the backup tackle. Skip, he could be a backup there. I mean, in your guards, shoot, you just drafted one in the 6th round that I think could be a starter. That's your backup. So we're really good right there. Graham Glasgow, your backup center too. So I think we're good there. Wide receivers, we could use another wide receiver, but it's still a great group, right? It's not that I say it's one of the weaker groups, but it's not weak. Go to the running backs, great depth right there. Defensive line, besides getting a number 2 edge, a bona fide number 2, the depth is pretty dang good. We just got a question mark about there. Linebackers are fine. The corners are fine. The safeties are great. This team is stacked with the roster. There's just not many holes. They're really, and I don't know if I've ever looked at a team like this and say there's not many holes.